Good morning, afternoon, and evening from wherever you're watching from, and welcome to Belinda's Country Living. Today I am going to be making a Swedish nut cake. Now I will warn you, I have made this cake a few times and it is super sweet but oh so delicious. Now I got this recipe out of one of the church cookbooks that I picked up at the Goodwill, and it is from Smith Valley United Methodist Church. And you know the elderly women of the churches, man, they are good cooks, just like your mother and your grandmother. And so this is what I'm doing today. So to make the cake, you are going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of granulated sugar. You will need 2 eggs, and you will need a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple. And yes, this says the tidbits. And the reason for that is because I could not find crushed pineapple. So what I did was I put the tidbits in the my food processor, and I made my own crushed pineapple. Now that's what you're going to need for the batter of this Swedish nut cake. And for later use, for the icing, you will need a 1/2 cup of walnuts of your choice. Now the recipe does call for the nuts to be added in the batter. However, I don't like nuts in my cake, so I crushed the nuts up, and I'm going to sprinkle that on top of the cake when it is done. You're also going to need a stick of butter and a teaspoon of vanilla. You're also going to need a teaspoon of vanilla in the cake batter. So, how easy is this? You are going to also need an 8-ounce Philadelphia cream cheese, or whatever brand you like to use. That's to your preference. You're going to need powdered sugar. Now this is all for the topping, and I'll show you later how that is done. So the first thing you want to do is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So I'm going to go turn the oven on, and hopefully it'll be ready by the time we get this cake mixed up. And that is ready to go. Now, what I like about this recipe is you just throw it all in a bowl, mix it up, put it in your pan, and you want to bake this for about 40 minutes. So let's get started. In goes the flour. Now, when you're measuring your flour, don't pack it. You just put your flour in and then rake it off at the top like this. Rake it off. Don't ever pack your flour. In goes the 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to mix this around. I have a church gathering tonight, and this is the reason why I'm making this cake. And it's a game night. We're going to be playing board games, cornhole, and everybody is supposed to be bringing something for us to eat. Last time I did peanut butter cookies, so I thought I would just step it up a notch and make something different. In goes my baking soda. That's 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So simple. Mix it up really good. And in goes, now I'm going to break the eggs in a separate bowl just in case I get an eggshell. Easier to get out. You definitely don't want someone biting into a piece of your delicious cake and get a bite of eggshell. And it looks good to me. In it goes. I'm just mixing this up a bit. Now, you want to also be sure that your pineapple, the 20 ounce that you're adding, is undrained. Do not drain the juice out of your pineapple. This is what's going to make it very moist. Got that in there. I don't know about you all, but I love pineapple. Now we're going in with some vanilla. You want a teaspoon of vanilla. And I want y'all to know I'm not going to be able to do a taste test because this is going to church. So we are going to mix this all up. See, I've got this recipe down pat because I've made this before. But I'm going to double check my recipe. Sugar, 2 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, teaspoon of baking soda, 1 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, a half a cup of nuts, but we will not be adding nuts. But if you like nuts in your cake, this would be the time to put your nuts in. 2 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's 2 teaspoons of baking soda. That's what I had in that little glass bowl. So let's mix it all up. And it's ready to go in the baking dish. I know this makes a lot of noise. And I could have used my KitchenAid, but it's much easier using the hand mixer. Just want to make sure it's mixed really well. Now I'm going to rake the sides. Get the flour. See that flour there? Rake the sides of your bowl. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day today. It's sun shining here in Indiana, and I'm trying my cell phone on the back side of the camera, and my grandson is behind the camera today. He's probably bored, but that's all right. It gets him out of his room. Now, that is mixed up well. Now, the recipe does not say grease or flour your pan, and what I'm doing today is I'm using a 9 by 12, I believe this is. And the reason why I'm using the sheet pan, it's not a sheet pan, but it's a casserole. I'm going to give you the exact measurement, 13 by 9. So this is going to be a 13 by 9. Now, if you really want to make your cake look really pretty, do this in your cake pans. Stack them 3 layers high and really decorate it would be just beautiful. But we're not going to do that. And I am going to spray my pan with Pam cooking spray, easy cleanup. Get the sides real good. Now I'm also gonna make sure it's all spread out even. I'm using a paper towel and spreading that all around. Just like that, y'all. Okay, ready to go in. Oh, love the smell of pineapple. Get all that goodness out of that bowl there. It's what you got these spatulas for. And you're going to bake this for about 40 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven. Now, my oven does run a little on the hot side. So I will check my cake here in about, I don't know, 20 minutes, see how it's doing. And it's ready to go in the oven. As soon as we get it out of the oven, we will be making the topping for it. Okay, our cake is about ready to come out of the oven. So while that's finishing up, I'm going to show you how to make the cream cheese frosting. You want to use 1 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. You're going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You ought to always have vanilla. 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. I use Philadelphia. And let's get this out of the package. Let me know in your comments if you've ever had Swedish Nut Cake. Always have trouble getting these out of the package. Now you want to get ready to make this cake. You want to get your cream cheese and make sure it's left out on the counter for it to soften up. Easier to mix up. 1 stick of butter. Now, it doesn't say melted butter. I did put this in the microwave for a few seconds just to soften it up. Like that. The cake sure does smell good. And all we're going to do is mix this up really well. I'll tell you what, let me show you something. You can go to the store and you can buy this. And I have to say it's really good. But the homemade is better. But I will tell you, it costs more to make it homemade versus this. I think this cost around $2.45. So, but if you want something quick, go grab you one of these. But I prefer the homemade. It's much, much better. Let me move my go-to coffee out of the way. And we're going to mix this up really good. And hope this powdered sugar don't fly up my nose. Been known to do that. That's why I always put my arm over it. Yummy, yummy. Look at that, y'all. mix it up really well. Now, you know, when the cake comes out of the oven, it does say to spread this on the cake while it's still hot. Now you can see the consistency. That's what you're looking for. And it says to spread it on the cake while the cake is still hot, fresh out of the oven. So when I get the cake out, we will be putting this on the oven. Not oven. We're going to spread it on the cake. And then we're going to top it with sprinkled, I'm using pecans. Now the recipe calls for walnuts, but I'm using pecans. So, get right back with you as soon as the cake comes out of the oven. Okay, I just got the cake out of the oven. And I wish y'all could see this a little bit closer. But I'm going to tilt this and show you what that looks like. It's beautiful. Smells really good. Now, like it says, we are going to put this cream cheese icing, or frosting as some may call it. We're doing just exactly what the recipe says. And I'm just going to dab a little bit here and there all over the cake. And it is starting to melt. And then I'll spread it. Get all that out of there. As much as you can anyway. Oh yeah. And don't forget to lick your finger. And we're just going to spread that out. I got it on my dish towel here because I don't want to set it on this plastic cutting board. Ugh. Yeah. Just spread it as even as you can get it. Try to make it a little pretty. Now, I know most of you have all the ingredients already in your kitchen. I'm just spreading it around, trying to make it really pretty. And once it sets, and there you have it. Beautiful. One more swipe. I'm finding the more you move it around, the thinner it gets. So we're just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to lick again. The icing is really, really good. Now we're going to take the crushed pecans, and I'm just using my hand, and we're just going to sprinkle the pecans right on top. As much as you want. I may not use a whole 3/4 cup. I just dropped a nut on the floor. Doggy get it. Well, I pretty much did. Use 3/4 cups. I just got a little bit more. We'll just use it all. And that, my friend, my YouTube family and friends, how you make a Swedish nut cake. And don't forget, if you like the content, to give me that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share my videos. And also want to thank my grandson for being the cameraman today. As you can see, maybe he can bring you closer to the cake and let you see the finished product. Thank y'all for viewing in on my channel, and may God bless you and have a wonderful and blessed weekend.